Hello ladies and gents, you've read from the title of this video, we are going to be covering the negative reactions to Matrix Resurrections. It's been released early in Japan, so a bunch of people have actually been able to see it on an early release anyway. I am going to just be reading out basically 1-star reviews here, so this is like the most negative of the negative. These weren't released when I did my initial video, but subsequently on that video, loads of people have then tweeted and kind of commented their opinions and then tweeted, and then reviews are up all over the place. You can find a lot of negativity. There will be spoilers in this video, and whilst I'm reading this, you can enjoy the trailer, because we can do that with this. So let's have a look at all of this stuff, shall we? So Zach Farias says, what can I say? Watched it early in Japan, and I honestly did not like it. It was great to see Neo and Trinity. Wait a sec, that's John Wick, not Neo. With that hair and beard, it looked more like a John Wick movie. High on drugs. Young Morpheus was a nice try, but not enough. I missed Agent Smith. He puts a lot of depth and expression with just his voice and words. The story was a mess. The camera during the action scenes was shaky, just like the Bourne movies, and you don't get to see the beauty of the movements like the first three. Trinity, out of the blue, becomes the one, and becomes powerful with no depth. No in-depth or plausible explanation, and if you haven't watched the first three, you may enjoy this, but if you try and compare them, you will disappoint. Try not to expect too much, and you might enjoy it just a little. We get another review here that says, Netflix's free guy who married the Matrix and had a kid, and the kid looks horrible. Too much emphasis on passing Neo's powers over to a woman, because that's just the social trend these days. The entire movie felt more like a video game than a sci-fi action movie. If anything, Resurrections killed the Matrix. This movie should have never been made. Original Matrix was cool, cold, and beautiful. The new one is full of cheesy $2 jokes, LGBTQ references, gender equality focused. Another review here says, waited 20 years for this one, big fan of the entire trilogy, it came with a lot of mixed feelings, knowing it will be very difficult to resurrect it. I did enjoy it, but to be honest, was also very disappointed. The action scenes were not so great, camera shots also felt like a cheap movie, story was shallow in some parts, really felt like a parody of the first Matrix, and if you are a fan, just like me, lower your expectations, and maybe you will enjoy it. This individual actually walked out in the middle of the movie. First 1.5 hours is spent recollecting the old movies with montages and all. Does the audience not remember the original story? Matrix is an action movie with an awesome story. It's a lot of talking by middle-aged crisis characters trying to figure out who they were and their purpose in life. If I wanted that, I'd go to a retro game shop. Never been so bored in my life. It's background noise you can turn on while flipping through TikTok. Complete waste of time. Stop milking this franchise. It's done. You beat it to death, you can't resurrect it. That was pretty brutal. In fact, it's probably one of the most brutalist ones. 1 star only. Lots of references to the original Matrix film, but nothing in the way that had the original Matrix so great. Cheap looking CGI. Also almost exclusively dark in the real, to us, world to hide fake computer generated scenery. The story is pretty boring. Fight choreography is lame. Bullet time ridiculously bad. Need I go on? Spoiler, she is the one. This movie feels more like a cheap parody of the original. No cool soundtracks, no amazing fight scenes. I mean, choreography is non-existent in this movie, and it's just replaced with shaky cam fight scenes. The characters in this movie have zero personality and chemistry, cheesy jokes, cheesy dialogues. There is nothing good about this movie. Keanu Reeves' performance was so bad that it's like he was forced to work on this movie. Also, the visual feel of this movie feels like a Disney film with cute robots. What a shame. I'll pretend this movie never existed and stick to the ending of the original trilogy. This, again, all more 1-star reviews. I hate when Hollywood shits on our old and beloved heroes just to overvalue another character, and that just to send another message. Here is a message from fans to all producers and filmmakers there. Don't shit on our heroes, make freaking new stuff. New heroes that empower your agendas or messages. I don't care, no one cares. Good luck doing that. Just don't F up beloved protagonists and characters just for that. Anyways, I hate Matrix Resurrections. Maybe slip it in the pit of the void. And that's because they made Trinity the one, it seems. We get a pretty brutal one here that says, what a waste of time and money. Everything Matrix has faded. No cool scenes, no suspense whatsoever. Don't watch this. I'm a massive fan of the original. Sadly, this was a pile of rubbish. Worst movie I've ever seen. Got my expectation high in the first minutes, then ruined everything it could. It was honestly the worst film I've ever seen in my life, and my friend and I both left before the end. Wow. Awful, full of mindless action, no depth in story, weak characters. Disappointment. Supporting cast performances are terrible. Garbage rehash of the original. Avoid. Bad movie. Don't go cinemas, please. Cat Tricks would have been a better movie than this. That's brilliant. Awful. What is that? Is it really a movie? So lots of people hated this. Now we do have some other, a little bit more sort of in-depth reviews anyway. Saw the film on December 17th in Kazakhstan. Should have lowered my expectations before going in. Definitely too many lost opportunities in this film. Camera work, the worst. Will leave you nauseated and disappointed with the action scenes. I can't believe you're making a Matrix film and shooting the fight scenes as if it was made for a middle school project. Got some Hunger Game camera vibes there. The plot is actually not bad, but again, not strong enough for a Matrix overall lore. Reboot, remake, sequel level, Terminator Genisys. Ooh, real bad. That's not good. The story continues from the previous part very well, but some things, many things, don't make sense. There are many new and interesting characters, but poorly used. Movie editing and cinematography is very, very weird. Warm tones, say goodbye to green and black. The disappearance of beauty in action scenes is the most deplorable. The highlight of the previous trilogy is the fresh, free, and beautiful design of the scenes. But this turns out to be like other action movies. So pretty brutal on that. But also there's a lot of comments which are basically just saying exactly the same things here. So it's really important to note, like, when a lot of things are consistently said, it seems to be a recurring theme. So you add a little bit more legitimacy behind it. Anyway, I'm giving it 2 stars for the visual effects. It looks cool, although would you expect anything less with a Matrix movie? The story felt like a teenager who had spent too much time reading philosophy and religious studies, but didn't quite understand all the concepts. Decided to shove a bunch of them into a story anyway. Keanu seemed to be sleepwalking through the role. Very disappointing. We get a comment here saying the opening scene is a letdown to say the least. A blue hair girl serves no real purpose, lost its iconic status without an epic villain. Disappointed with the overall storyline. It's a pity that such a fine trilogy ended with a very disappointing new sequel. I'm giving 2 stars for the sake of the old days. Truly disappointing. Reminiscence of the past, like a good old memory, not a good movie. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We get a fairly substantial review here that says Matrix Resurrections was weak at most aspects. I saw a few hours ago, nothing common with previous Matrix. Characters are weak, music weak, visuals medium, story in Matrix lore weak, but like new movie interesting. About nowadays society, end of scene was like people want to have comfort, place and be controlled. You are only a few % who want to make the world better. Seems would be other chapters of Matrix, because much of the story is not open, like scenes where Neo's jumping from buildings at all. Movie, they just opens that and he jumped or not, so basically leaving big questions of whether Neo actually made jumps. Did he jump off a building or not? There's just not really any actual explanation, so not good at all. And then again, some medium stuff. It was fun. I saw it yesterday in Osaka. I went with no expectations, but still, I felt it was a missed opportunity to do something even more crazier within the Matrix canon, and even within our society state of affairs. I also felt that as an audience, we are ready for something new. There's still tons of space for a new mind-blowing, bending cinema storytelling experience, but that will require a generational shift in the industry. Overall fun, but don't expect much, as it shows it was made more for resurrecting nostalgia, like the filmmakers meant to have fun making another Matrix film, and that's why it looks so cheap. I can't believe it looks cheap. It was even shot poorly in digital. It shows in many occasions. Resurrections is more of a sitcom version of the Matrix. Oh, fuck, that's bad. That is not a good review. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Just some negative reviews. Lots of people. Trinity becomes the one. Neo's acting's bad. Bad effects. Apparently real bad. I'll be going to watch this tomorrow. I'll be giving you my review tomorrow. If it is a real bad film, I'll be doing what I could call a group therapy session where I live stream and we just bitch about it just for good times. Just for a laugh. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Love to have you here more often. Cheers, guys. Take care.